This is Mac OS Ken.
The kids still dig iPhones and Apple stuff. Apple's next earnings call is set. And talking about not being able to talk about the weather, it is Wednesday, the 5th of April, 2023. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. Go to hellofresh.com/MOK50 and use code MOK50 for 50% off. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/MacOSCan. Piper Sandler is out with its biannual Taking Stock with Teens survey. Apple Insider writes up some of the findings, which show Apple continuing to crush it with the kids. Just under 5,700 individuals with an average age of 16.2 years were surveyed across 47 states in the U.S. for the findings. They come from homes with an average household income of a little under $68,000, and they are into Apple. According to the findings, 87% own an iPhone, 88% say their next phone will be an iPhone. Smartwatch ownership is up from 37% a year ago to 41%. Apple Watch ownership is up from 31% last fall to 35% this spring. 15% of respondents plan to buy an Apple Watch in the next 6 months, up from 14% this time last year. Apple is the favorite watch brand among the group, though it has fallen from 47% last fall to 39% this spring. Apple Pay is tops for mobile payment apps for teens, with 39% of respondents employing the service, and Spotify wins with the kids when it comes to streaming music, perhaps thanks to its free tier. Just over 68% of respondents say they've used Spotify over the last 6 months versus just over 36% for Apple Music. Not that Mr. Spotty's victory is all about the freebies. When it comes to paying, Spotify leads with just over 44% saying they paid for a subscription, against 31.5% for Apple Music, according to the report. Now, left out of the Apple Insider piece, a market Apple is expected to enter relatively soon. A piece from CNBC looked at the parts of the Piper Sandler survey tied to virtual reality. No, Apple is not thought to be targeting virtual reality, though a mixed reality headset would include both augmented reality and virtual reality, so please get off my back. Ownership is higher than I would have expected. 29% of teens polled owned a VR device, according to CNBC, and they don't really seem inspired. The CNBC piece goes on to say only 4% of headset owners used it daily, and 14% use them weekly. That is something. Piper Sandler has a positive rating on Apple shares. TipRanks puts the firm's price target on the shares at $195. With Apple's most recent quarter ending last week, it is almost time for the company to answer for it, and it will in about a month. Tuesday afternoon, Apple let the world know when its next earnings report will be. It will be on Thursday, May the 4th. May the 4th be with them. Apple will release numbers after the bell, roughly 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific. After that, Apple execs and Apple watching analysts will head to the phones to discuss second fiscal quarter results and business updates. That'll happen at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. Wookiee cookies and wretched blue milk to be served after. But I wouldn't eat the cookies. Nor would I drink the milk, come to think of it. Might be best to pack a snack. If you checked Apple's weather app at the right or wrong time over the past day, you found no weather. I don't mean no inclement weather. I mean, come Tuesday, Mac rumors had many users across the globe and across Apple's many platforms unable to see live weather information and forecasts for regions in the weather app. And that might still be a thing. The initial problem started at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific Monday night. Apple's system status page listed the issue as resolved by about 1:30 in the afternoon, 10:30 in the morning on Tuesday. Another issue cropped up a couple of hours later, though. 5 till 4 Tuesday afternoon on the East Coast, 5 till 1 out west. Apple said weather might be slow or unavailable. Those are the same symptoms listed by Apple on the previously resolved weather problem. That reminds me, I've been thinking about looking into a wearable that kind of keeps users up to date on current weather conditions. It's called Skin. As of this recording, the weather issue is ongoing, and there seems to be a problem with iCloud Mail as well. Starting around 7:15 Eastern last night, Apple's system status page said users may be unable to access iCloud Mail. That was still happening, or not, as of 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 way out west. Some iPhone 16.4 users may have a bigger problem than not knowing whether there is weather. Called to Mac says the recently released OS update seems to be draining the batteries of various iPhone models. Like most of them. Quoting the Cult, when Geekbench battery tests were done on an iPhone 13, iPhone 12, iPhone 11, iPhone XR, and iPhone 8 running iOS 16.4, all of their scores went down, and some of these models saw a double-digit decline in scores when compared to iOS 16.3.1. The battery score for the iPhone 13 dropped 11%, for example. iPhone 12 went down 12%. The Cult's Ed Hardy says he's also seen an issue with his iPhone 14 Plus. It's kind of strange given the device's huge battery. Then again, I think he might be making that up since everybody knows nobody is buying iPhone 14 Plus. I'm kidding. If you have not yet updated to iOS 16.4, Hardy suggests you hold off. Personally, I'm on the fence on that one. There are security issues fixed in iOS 16.4, plus 21 new emoji. I have had no problem with my battery on my iPhone 13 since the update, though apparently lots of people have. Hardy says there is talk out there of an iOS 16.4.1 update coming soon. It is thought/hoped that will take care of any affected iPhone's battery issue. More news in a moment, but first a word from today's sponsor, HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. I've talked a bit about the HelloFresh food this week, but they're more than just great meals. They're also easier on the environment. On average, HelloFresh meals have a 31% lower carbon footprint than the same meals made from supermarket ingredients, and most of the packaging is curbside recyclable in most parts of the country. And here's more good news. It will not break the bank. HelloFresh is cheaper than grocery shopping and 25% cheaper than takeout. Of course, the food is the thing. I love the new taste ideas and techniques HelloFresh has brought my way. I wouldn't have thought to cook apple and scallions together. I wouldn't have thought to combine fig jam and goat cheese over chicken. Those combinations have absolutely made a couple of my HelloFresh meals, and I will be making things like them again. Even if cooking isn't your strong suit, HelloFresh meals come pre-proportioned with step-by-step recipe cards that make meal prep a very doable thing. Go to HelloFresh.com/MOK50 and use code MOK50 for 50% off, plus your first box ships free. That's HelloFresh.com/MOK50 and code MOK50 for 50% off and free shipping on your first box. Don't miss this great offer on America's #1 meal kit. Get free shipping on your first box and 50% off with code MOK50 at HelloFresh.com/MOK50. Apple TV Plus is hit with news of new series over the past few days. Working backwards towards now, we start in late June. That is when a piece from Apple Insider says Carpool Karaoke, the series, zooms back into Apple's lineup. Season 6 will feature the song stylings of Alanis Morissette, Avril Lavigne, Cedric the Entertainer, Alison Brie, Youngblood, Danny Pudi, and many more. Carpool Karaoke, the series, pulls into Apple TV Plus on Friday, the 23rd of June. There is a trailer now for the next season on YouTube. Sooner than the Carpool, and decidedly more serious, another piece from Apple Insider has a premiere date for The Crowded Room. In case you've forgotten this one, Apple's press release on the series says The Crowded Room follows Danny Sullivan, a man who was arrested following his involvement in a shooting in New York City in 1979. Danny's life story unfolds, revealing elements of the mysterious past that shaped him and the twists and turns that will lead him to a life-altering revelation. Tom Holland takes the lead in the series, on which he also serves as executive producer. Amanda Seyfried and Emmy Rossum also feature in a series created by Academy Award winner Akiva Goldsman. No trailer for this one yet, though that'll likely be along. The first 3 episodes of the 10-episode first season hit Apple TV Plus on Friday, the 9th of June. News of another series that I honestly thought would take a lot longer. It was less than 3 months ago that Apple announced a limited series based on the manga Drops of God. And now, it'll be less than 3 weeks until you can see it. Or see it start anyway. Apple TV Plus issued a press release Tuesday teasing the series and dropping a trailer. Trilingual, this one, filmed in English, French, and Japanese. Drops of God tells the story of a woman competing for her father's inheritance against a former student of the father's. It's a winner-take-all contest. The prize, a wine collection valued in the millions. 3 tests tied to wine tasting will decide the outcome. Could be tough for the daughter, though. She knows nothing about wine, according to the release, and has never drunk a single drop. Sounds whack, but the trailer, which is available now on YouTube, looks gorgeous. The first 2 episodes of the 8-episode series hit Apple TV Plus on Friday, the 21st of April. And finally today, award season never ends, especially if we're counting awards like the Webbies. Apple Insider says nominations are out for the 27th Annual Webby Awards, and Apple is up for a few. If you're not sure what a Webby is, the piece says the Webby Awards are awarded to excellence on the Internet, presented annually by the International Academy of Digital Arts and Sciences. Categories include websites, online videos, mobile apps, and advertising. Among Apple's nominations, the AirPods ad featuring Harry Styles is in the category for Best Individual Performance, Performances and Craft, Video. The Apple Podcasts app is up for Best User Experience. The Apple TV app is up for Entertainment and Sports. The Apple TV Plus series Ted Lasso and FIFA 23 are up for Best Partnership for Collaboration in Advertising. And the Apple TV Plus series The Problem with Jon Stewart is up for Best Copywriting and Craft. Winners will be announced on the 25th of April, according to Apple Insider. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by HelloFresh. Go to hellofresh.com/MOK50 and use code MOK50 for 50% off. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/MacOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media. Online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. info@macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.